is Sanford. Tradition just tastes better.
Aman means safety.
The Aman School of Excellence in Finetown, South Africa, is securing the futures of underprivileged children by providing world-class education in a safe and nurturing environment. Sponsor a child for only 15,000 Rand per year or any amount. A quality education at Aman presents a pathway out of poverty and a brighter future for South Africa.
Africa Muslims Agency. Empowering, educating, inspiring.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
Same routines, same promises, and the same guilt trips. Fitness fads really do feel like a cult sometimes. Well, it's time to leave those empty promises behind and experience a real social wellness club. Join Virgin Active today and score a whopping 75% off fees for 2 months. It's an offer bigger than your biceps. Your wellness journey starts here, where you always have a place to sweat, rest, thrive, and socialize. Leave no part of yourself behind. Join Virgin Active through our website or call us on 0860. Get fit and treat the holistic you under one roof. Offer valid for a limited time only. T's and C's apply.
The MTN Radio Award-nominated Breakfast Rush with Nishal Sarwan.
Right, so here we are, 13 minutes after 7 on this Monday morning. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and of course, inside your radios between the speakers and all of that. Now, if you're watching the video and you look right there, that is how you do not spell my surname. If you're looking right there, right, it's S-A-R-A-W-A-N, and just like this, like magic, we'll put another one in there. Hey, watch this. There you go. Yeah, see? Done. Hey, welcome to your Breakfast Rush this morning. Absolutely. So, on a serious note now, a violent altercation between pupils at Centenary Secondary School in Asheville, Durban, allegedly racially charged, has ignited or reignited conversations about racism and violence in schools. The incident occurred on Tuesday morning last week, leaving at least 3 pupils seriously injured. A video or two of the fight was widely shared on social media. KZN's Department of Education's spokesperson, Muzi Mahlambi, said officials had been sent to the school on a fact-finding mission. So, 2 conversations around this topic this morning. The first conversation with Brother V. Gani of the Parents Association of KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, the second conversation, and he's already online as well. We'll speak to him in a moment. The Executive Director of the National Professional Teachers Association of South Africa, BASIL MANUEL, will be talking to him in a moment. But first up, Vigani, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Rush on Radio Al Ansar.
Walaikum salam, and good morning to you, Nishal, and to your listeners as well.
V, always a pleasure speaking with you. Let's get your thoughts on what was your initial reaction to the violent altercation at Centenary Secondary School last week.
Yeah, look, I think there's been videos that have been circulating quite widely. And it made all kind of allegations, some of them racial in nature and all of that. The information that has come through now, the department has done an investigation, and where they say this wasn't a racial incident or any racial intonations to it, and that there was some other initiation that happened which resulted in some kind of miscommunication, and then, of course, there was some ill discipline and misbehavior. So that is what the department's investigators has unearthed. And I said this from day one. This happened last week, and I was saying to people, look, let the department's investigation happen first before people start calling it as a racial this and a racial. Because ultimately what people were saying was that, look, Indian kids are being assaulted by black kids, and there's a whole host of things. Which provided now one of the things, Nishal, that people said was, listen, the principal was being assaulted and the teachers were assaulted by these kids, and nothing of that sort happened. So there's been a lot of conjecture and there's been a lot of allegations that have been put, especially on social media, without having established the facts. And this is very dangerous. And I keep on telling people, don't do that. Don't have an opinion on something if you don't know what it is about and what the facts are about. So the department has done their investigation. They've said, look, they've done it. It's nothing to do with race. It has to do with some other issue that happened in the school. I'm actually visiting the school today. But this is what happens. So, if we talk about race, we'll be talking about something in the school. According to the department and according to the other role players, they didn't happen. If you listen to the interview that Muzi had done, he basically just said that they've met with the parents, they've met with the other, with all mixed parents, and everybody got along very well. I think they understood what has been happening there. So we must be very careful, and I need to emphasize this as well. There are people who are jumping and climbing onto the bandwagon and calling it a race issue and basically creating panic in the minds and in our people that this is, I saw one post about, is this 1949 rights and all of that. It's all nonsense, People need to understand that they are creating panic in the minds of other people unnecessarily. They're creating tension, and in doing so, they're also creating hate. Our schools are mixed schools.
Absolutely, and they've been so for decades now. You've actually answered quite a few of our questions already. Let me just skip to the last one that you've not touched on just yet. Many have called for better security in public schools. Do you think that increasing security measures is, part and parcel of the right solution at the moment?
Absolutely. If you increase security in a school, you'd minimize incidents that happen. But here's the thing, Nishant. Pay your school fees. Then the school can afford to get more security in the school.
Indeed.
People don't pay their school fees. Schools are kind of very limited in what they and how they spend money with the resources in the school. And security, unfortunately, is not something that people spend a lot of money on because there are other more important issues and other more expenses to be taken care of. So you are right in one way. Look, if you have more security and the more visibility that there is there, the less the chances of anything. Absolutely. But how do schools afford it with limited budgets where parents are not even paying their school fees?
Absolutely. V, I want to thank you for your time this morning and, your thoughts on the questions at hand, and wish you a wonderful day ahead and a successful visit to the school today.
Thanks so much, Nishal. Same to you and your listeners. Have a great day.
So 3 teenagers were rushed to hospital following this fight at the Durban's Centenary Secondary School last Tuesday morning. And just after 9 a.m., the school had issued a letter to parents stating that lessons were suspended and for parents to make necessary arrangements to collect their children. It's alleged that the fights stemmed from a racist incident at the school. There was also more video footage of learners fighting in school uniform where it seemed as if other learners were clashing as well. These videos are causing panic in communities. Now, joining us, as I mentioned earlier, is the Executive Director of the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa, BASIL Manuel. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Rush.
Nishal, good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for joining us and on camera as well. So, folks, if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to ask you to share the link to the interview as well. Mr. Manuel, tell us, how common are racially charged incidents in South African schools? And do you believe they're increasing? Or do you believe they're decreasing?
It's a difficult one because one never knows whether it is really a racial incident or if it's just youngsters getting into each other's space and things explode. Now, that does happen. But we must remember that we've come from a racial past and that there are many of our parents that are still hung up on race issues, and they speak about these things at home. And it is then not unusual that children will say these same things, mouth these same ideas, even though
Mhm.
they have never had an experience of it. So to be absolute and say, yes, there are racial incidents and they are increasing, I think would be extremely difficult, but also unfortunate, because I think V is absolutely right. We must be careful about creating panic and creating an atmosphere where there is this distrust and accusation before anything has actually even happened. So there are incidents, some of them may look racial, but it is very difficult to say that, yes, they are racial. Sometimes the spark may be racial, and other youngsters just get involved. But what we've got to do is not stop teaching tolerance,
Mhm.
not stop teaching that we have differences, but at the end of the day, we are all the same people. And that for
Hmm.
me is extremely important.
Do you think South African schools provide enough professional development for teachers to handle sensitive topics like race and discrimination?
I don't think so. And let me
Mm.
qualify why I say so. Our teachers are stretched to the dizzy limit. If you look
Yeah.
at, for example, your average matric teacher, just to go to the end, and a lot of these incidents occur higher up, they are teaching around the clock simply because everybody's chasing results, good or
Mhm.
bad. It also has many negative things. Teachers don't have time. I remember being in the secondary school as a teacher. We had time to talk to the
Mm.
children. We could speak about things that happened, whether it was about looking after themselves, caring about one another, or even the situation in the country as a whole. They are important conversations. Matric teachers don't have that time. Let's go further down the line. When you look at the class sizes and you look at how much teachers are expected to do with an increasing class size at the moment, you will see that there's very little time for other things. And those other things, as I'm calling them, they are the important things that bind schools together. They are the things that children remember. Children will forget the maths. Children will forget the English grammar lessons, but they won't forget the lessons you taught them about life. And that is
Mhm.
why we have been pushing, and thank heavens that it has helped. We are now busy looking at the curriculum and looking at the overload so that we give
Mhm.
teachers time to do certain things. But in short, no, we don't have enough professional development.
Do teachers have sufficient backing from the Department of Education when they report various incidents, negative incidents?
I think they are trying to do the right thing, but they don't always get it right. Remember, these are also people, and they come with their own prejudices. So let's
Mm.
understand that people can never be seen as being absolutely perfect. But I will say, in all the provinces that I am involved in, and that is all 9 of them, there is a serious intent to do the right
Mhm.
thing. Whether individuals always get it right, we look at Pretoria girls and so on, and we wonder if the right thing happened. But the bottom line is this: the heart is in the right place. Now, we've got to get our parents to also believe that, because parents are posting videos too,
Mhm.
making claims of various things. In Newcastle, we've had an incident like that. And I want to tell you, it is sad when parents get involved in the fray of doing the negative instead of fixing it. We must be the examples to the youngsters, not the other way around.
Hmm. As a final question for this morning, since racism often originates outside the classroom, how can teachers work with parents and communities to address it?
I believe our role as the builders within a school, I believe the role of peacemakers, we've got to talk to children because we have them right in front of us. We have them in the palm of our hands. And if we fix the children, they carry the story home. Where tomorrow the father says something and the child can say, hey, but that's not my experience. And we want parents to interact with their children. So let's work with the children because those are the ones we are closest to. The parents are a little further away. We see them once a term, sometimes not even once a term, because not everybody comes. But we don't stop doing the right thing as number one teachers. They mustn't fall into the trap of doing the wrong thing. And then, secondly, we must work with our children.
Indeed, I want to thank you for your time this morning and your input on a very crucial conversation, which I think we've only just scratched the surface on for now. I want to wish you and your team all the best in the work that you're doing, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much. You have a good day further.
So that was Executive Director of the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa, BASIL Manuel. And Nasmira, I think that as we talk on this subject, and I said to BASIL now, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot more investigation that needs to be done. I think there's a lot more, scratching at finding the ultimate truth to what has taken place at the school, because I think still there is a lot that is being hidden.
Yes.
Whether the carpet's been lifted and it's been pushed under, or whether people are just not willing to admit that this is the actual situation, or the narrative is being very, very carefully coordinated to end up in a certain place.
Absolutely. When something like this happens, like you said, there's two sides. We sometimes cover it up and pretend like it's not there, or we try and handle it discreetly because we don't want that fire to travel to other places.
Exactly. Now, there was this thing in there, and I'm doing this still on camera so that you that's watching, you can spread this information. There were two videos. One video that somebody took off a balcony.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
His commentary on the video steered the direction in which you're going to see this.
Correct.
It steered the direction in which you're going to think about it and see it. And then there was a second video that was taken from the ground.
Yes.
Right? A lady asking a boy what's going on. He turning around and saying, they're fighting with us, they're hitting us, etc., whatever the case may be. And she says, who? And he says, all the Indians. Again, the narrative is being dictated by the commentary, if you will, on those videos. Now, remember, folks, these videos are not presented in context. There's no before what happened, and there's no after what happened. There's just what you see, meaning that's what happened. Now, the investigation that I'm talking about is an investigation that will go in and figure out what happened before and what needs to happen after.
Where did it start?
Exactly.
And I loved Basil's words where he said, never stop doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
No matter what happens, no matter who's doing what around you, you have the ability to never stop doing the right thing.
The second thing that I was going to mention was there was another video. Two kids, teenagers in blue school jerseys.
Yes.
Now, Zach, you went to that school. Those two blue jerseys and the language and the accent of those children do not in any way indicate that it was Centenary Secondary.
Yes. They were not even children from KZN.
Exactly. So somehow the other, and I know who did it, but somehow the other, somebody took that video from Cape Town and captioned it as if it happened at Centenary, and then the sheep just forwarded it.
Even going to the extent of labeling that child by the name of the child in Centenary.
So exactly, which is unfortunate. Now, folks, we're always saying this to you. When you get something coming to your phone, whether it's a video, whether it's a voice clip, whatever it may be, text, anything, verify it before you amplify it. Like, seek the truth before spreading rumor, conjecture, before spreading lies.
Absolutely. Put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
That's something I always say.
Yeah.
If that child was your child and everyone is spreading this information, and look, there were other stories spread last week, Thursday, Friday, about this child, which I'm not going to mention, but so unnecessary.
Very much so. So when something comes to your device, verify before you amplify, because those two boys that were involved in that video from outside of KZN, where it was labeled that it happened here in KZN, that was absolutely wrong. And a lot of people have now mixed the two stories and said that it happened here. There was another video of a girl getting her head kicked, which I found absolutely disgusting. All of these videos, absolutely disgusting. What is the state of our school? And I swear to you, on the day where President Ramaphosa was going to go read the State of the Nation, inside me, I felt like posting those 3 videos and captioning it at Mr. President. Here's the state of the nation. I thought to myself, no, we're bigger than that. We're bigger than that. We need to do other things as well. Thank you for watching. It's your breakfast rush. It's Monday morning. If you're on the roads, please do take it nice and easy. When we come back, we'll tell you what the latest is from our set of Vodacom stores.
The